What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Definitely appreciate you stopping by and checking me out. Just want to give you a quick 2024 in the bag video so you can see what I do with my bag and see if it would work for you. And along those lines, I want to give you a little background on me and how I play the game. So I'm an MA40/MA2 player. I'm a 928 rated player currently. I primarily throw forehands off the tee, but I will occasionally reach for the backhand as well. Also forehand and backhand my approaches. Left-hand player, so if you play some courses that I played, probably attack a little bit differently than me if you're a right-hand player. But primarily, I throw about 300, 350 with the forehand and only about 290 to maybe 315 with the backhand. So again, more lenient upon the forehand for my drive game. So let's get into the bag. Here it is. I got the grip bag from last year's Ledgestone Special Edition release. Love the grip bag. Always a great, well-crafted piece of equipment. Holds the bags nicely, good accessibility. Also gives you lots of storage and other pockets of things you might need for the course. So rocking the grip bag for the 2024 season. Starting with my putters, kind of started slow and then we'll work up into speed. So I have 3 putters that I use primarily for putting reasons. I do have the Neutron Watt here, special edition, that I do throw off the tee a little bit for approaches and things like that. Don't putt with the Watt a whole lot, but in headwinds and things like that, might reach for the Watt a little bit more than maybe my go-to putters. 2 putters that I use, kind of my long-range putter, my jump putt. I use the Eclipse Soft Plastic from the OTB Open. This thing is money. That soft plastic is just awesome. Good in the winter when it's a little bit colder out. Allows this to stay soft and kind of flexible. And also good in the winter as well if you want a little bit more tackiness or something that's going to stick to the ground a little bit quicker and easier. So that is the OTB Eclipse Soft Proxy. And then my other near range or short range putter is the Electron Soft. I got a DFX stamp here, the Frogero. But this is my inside the circle kind of close range putter, Electron Soft Proxy. Working up to kind of the approach disc that I have in the bag, the slower speeds. I have 3 of those. Kind of go-to slow speed approach is the Eclipse Glitch. Just came out recently in the Jarapalooza box for 2023. A little bit more weight, a little bit more stability with the Eclipse plastic, so I absolutely love this disc. I would recommend it for anybody, beginners all the way up to advanced players. Fun to throw around, playing catch, approach shots, even long putts. Great disc. My next kind of approach disc or throw disc, I throw this off the tee. I also use it for approaches. There's another OTB release. It's the Proton Soft Ohm. Again, got that good soft, pliable, flexible plastic to it. I've got 3 aces with this one just this last season, 2023. So absolutely a money disc, straight flyer, reliable fade, and a great disc, again, for almost anybody. My last kind of approach or slower speed disc, also released this year, is the 2023 Circuit Challenge Neutron Tempo. I love the Tempo. It's kind of a seasoned zone if you're familiar with this craft. Flies straight and true on the forehand, can handle some torque and some spin. So it's very reliable, very trustworthy for that kind of approach shot or even headwind putt shot. So great disc. I recommend it again for almost anyone looking for an approach disc in the Axiom or MVP lineup. Not quite as stable as the Entropy, but a lot shallower. So for me, it feels better in my hand for the forehand approach shot. So that primarily concludes my slow speed disc, my putter range from 4 speeds down to 2s. Moving on, we'll go to the mid ranges. I bag 5 mid ranges. I bag 4 mid ranges currently. The first one is my most understable. This is also an OTB Open special release. This is the Eclipse Uplink. 5-speed, good understability, so you can throw it on a hyzer and have it flip up the flat, maybe even push a little bit and drift opposite. So it's a great disc for those hyzer flip mid-range shots. Next up, I have a 2022 Circuit Challenge Eclipse Hex. I love the Hex. It's a great workhorse, forehand, backhand, hyzer flips, holds angles that you put on an ante. Pretty much can do anything that you want it to do if you know what to do with it. So absolutely love the Hex, the staple in the bag, one that I reach for very often. This one here I got a cool stamp by Robert Awe, Robo Dies. He does a great job. You can reach him on Facebook if you're looking for anything special and unique like that. does great work. So the Eclipse Hex from the 2022 Circuit Challenge. Next up, getting a little bit more stable, is my Pyro. This is a Prism Plasma Pyro. Love plasma plastic, nice and tacky, doesn't get too slick even when it's wet or dry out. So I love that tacky plastic. Also love the Prism rim, very cool, kind of shiny and speckly in the sunlight. So love that about it. A lot of great overstability to this disc. Not too much beef that you can't make it fly, but does always fight back and can be trusted in almost any condition. So love that Pyro. And finally, my most stable approach disc, another OTB Open Special Release, is the Proton Soft Deflector. Again, love that soft plastic. So that Proton Soft, I hope they keep releasing, MVP keeps releasing those because I think they're great. I love the softer plastic for my hands. The deflector's got a nice shallow profile to it, but again, not a lot of beat to it. So you can throw it on forced flexes. It's going to work its way back out. You need to get around something for a utility disc. I would reach for the deflector. So don't throw it a great deal in the rounds, but when I need something with some extra chunk to it, it's going to really fight back. I reach for that Proton Soft Deflector. So those conclude my mid-ranges. Again, quite a little bit of diversity from the uplink and its very understable profile all the way to the deflector and its very overstable profile. Got a little bit of everything in there, and I feel like that really helps fill the bag out pretty completely. Moving on to some fairway drivers. I primarily bag 2 or 3, I guess, true fairway drivers. First is kind of a staple in the MVP lineup, or the Axiom lineup, is the Crave. Here, this is a plasma Crave, so again, I like that plasma plastic, nice and soft, but not too soft. Doesn't firm up too bad in the winter months, so it kind of stays true to what it is all year round. Crave's a 6.5 speed, so it's got good controllability for almost any age and any level. But allows you to kind of get after it a little bit too. It won't burn over on you. It's got good kind of mid stability for almost everyone in any type of throw. Good utility disc there. Next, I have my Fission Special Edition Rhythm. This is a Fission plastic again. A little bit lighter weight than 167. This is a Hyzer Flip workhorse. Nice long straight flight with a little bit of finish on it. But I love the rhythm. I'm glad they came out with that release recently as well. I staple in the bag that I throw pretty regularly. And lastly, I guess I would call the Virus. This is a Neutron Special Edition Virus. I use this also for those Hyzer Flips. If I need a little bit more distance to the rhythm or a little bit less stability than the rhythm, then I'll go to the Virus. So those are kind of my 3 out of classified as fairway drivers. Moving up kind of through my other 9-speed disc, I have the Plasma Inertia. A little bit more of a straight flyer, not as flippy or understable, but it's going to give you a good, true, straightforward flight and a decent finish at the end. So I love the Plasma Inertia. A forehand workhorse for me, again in that 9-speed, is the Neutron Raft. I love the Raft. It is great for those forehand, need some stability, but want to get a nice long forward flight first. The Raft is perfect for that. A little bit less stable than a Firebird or a Fireball, if you're familiar, but does have that familiar fight back and stability at the end of it. And a little bit more similar to the Fireball or a Firebird would be the Motion. This is kind of the overstable 9-speed that I go to if I need to flex something around, or if I need something that I can trust into a headwind. I'm going to reach for that Motion. Again, in the plasma plastic, really enjoy the plastic. Moving on to the 11-speed class, I bag 4 11 speeds. That's kind of the main driver speed that I kind of go to for those 300-foot shots. First and most understable is the Orbital. This is a special edition Neutron Orbital, 174 in weight. This is a Hyzer Flip machine. Great, again, utility disc. It's a -4, 11.5, -4, so it is an understable profile, but it's not scary understable. I don't throw it a whole lot into a headwind, but with a tailwind it can be trusted. It has great Hyzer Flip capabilities to really draw out those full flights and give that extra distance. Next up, I forehand and backhand the Vanish. I love it for Hyzer Flip forehands. Very good on a nice straight line backhand as well. Maybe even a little bit of a forced flex if you wanted to, or needed to kind of shape a shot. But I love the Neutron Vanish. My forehand go-to for Hyzer Flip push shots is the new Simon Lizotte D-Glow Championship Wave. Again, a Neutron Classic. This one is a 172. This thing I can get after. I can hyzer flip it probably about 350, 400 feet, and kind of trust the line that I'm going to put it on. So I really enjoy throwing the deep low special edition release for Simon Design. Lastly, in my 11 speeds is the Defy. This one's a little bit older, kind of saving the bag for a long time now, but I love it. It's kind of a big brother to the Wrath. It's going to give you that long straight flight with that reliable fade. Can handle more torque, can handle more speed, but very consistent in the flight that it gives you. So I love the Defy in the Neutron Classic. Lastly, going with our high-speed disc. This one's pretty hot off the press. Haven't thrown it a whole lot, but look forward to throwing a lot more coming in this 2024 season, and that is the Simon Lizotte Time Lapse. The first 12 speed that MVP/Axiom has released. Obviously, that's an area that MVP has had a hole in, but has done a pretty good job with the other modes that they have to kind of fill that void and give you something to feel good about. But with the new time lapse, and especially these new kind of stock releases, I think they have a good stability that are going to be challenging to the amateur player, but useful to the amateur player. So you're going to have to kind of work on your game. If you want to throw the time lapse, you're going to have to force some flex on it, because it does have good stability, but it's not overly beefy like some of the prototypes were, where you kind of either want it in the bag or you don't. It doesn't have to be a utility disc. It can have a purpose in the bag. So throw this on the forehand quite a little bit, really holds the line well, again with that familiar and comfortable stability finish. So love the time lapse, looking forward to kind of tossing that thing around some more. Kind of my hyzer flip/flat max distance disc right now is the Proton Mayhem. This is the 172. Love Axiom because of those colorful rims and different color profiles that they kind of put together. With this guy right here, I can flip up and have it go about 350, 375, and really trust the line that I put it on. Love the Mayhem. To me, similar to the time lapse right now with the new stock releases, but this guy is a little bit more flippy, even though it's a little bit higher speed, so I can kind of push a little bit more distance out of the Mayhem. Lastly but not least, is another OTB open release. This is the Neutron Panic. This is a lightweight one. This is 163. So this bad boy, although it is a Panic and a very overstable disc, with the lighter weight, it does allow for me to get some flip on it to turn it into a max distance full flight shot. So I really enjoy throwing this Panic, particularly in this lower weight, in this OTB Prism release. Love the colors and the way that bad boy looks, but also a great flyer, one that you can trust, headwind, tailwind, forehand, backhand, kind of can do it all. So that is it for the disc that I have in the bag. I also obviously have the arm, the augmented reaching mechanism here from MVP. Comes out of the bag probably more often than I would like. It's great at what it does. It also has another head you can put on that grabs the disc if you need kind of more stability on the reach. On the other side of the bag, I got the rangefinder, I got the Bushnell Ledgestone Edition rangefinder, in case you need to know your location and how far you are away from things. I also have a grip bag in there from Ledgestone. That's probably about it. A couple minis, obviously, which might be for marking a more tournament-friendly round. But that is it. I appreciate you guys checking it out. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you very much for starting this journey with me in 2024. I'm looking forward to bringing you more content and disc golf related material. Thank you. Peace.